All right, welcome everyone. Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Buddy Daddies, episode 7.
Karin.
Yeah.
Karen.
We got a surprise character being brought up who definitely isn't the person from Kazuki's past.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
Nope, definitely not.
I mean, she doesn't have to be, but like...
She doesn't have to be, but the way she showed up and,
we got new named character.
Q-chan was like, oh.
You're here.
You're here. Yeah, exactly. Now, there's been nothing so far that would indicate Kazuki is expecting her to show up.
No, in fact, Q, if this is the person he was leaving money for, said, yeah, she hasn't really been inclined to take the money.
Yeah. So it could be a completely new character then, but odds are that it's not. So, I'm excited because we had a wholesome episode.
We did.
Which means this one could be a more dramatic and not so wholesome episode.
Right.
Much more intense and more frenetic. So,
We'll have to see.
Y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Karin-chan, 久しぶりだね.
Kazuki wa?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Oh.
Lesson learned. Don't run into the road. Yep. Oh.
Okay.
Fun. Fun. No, now don't.
はいはい、しょうがねえな。帰るぞ。
Oh. The lesson is don't throw your umbrella, you know.
この季節は好きじゃねえ。
Oh, it's this time of year as well?
Okay.
Oh, so maybe Karin showing up is actually a very timely, specific thing as well.
Yeah, it's like...
the incident itself, you know.
Anniversary of a death, maybe.
ただいま。
These headphones locked in. Nope.
You're distracting him. He's losing his placement.
まず風呂。
Oh my gosh.
いやいやいや。
Oh,
Okay.
will it be show?
All right.
Oh my god. Confrontation. Do it.
ああ、そうだ。タオルケットの名前付けは頼んどいたよな。レイ、おーい。
Earth to Ray! Oh.
It's right there.
いやいやいや。裁縫道具はそう。
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
ちゃんと髪拭いたか？
Gotta train her to be motivated to do things properly so that she can play those games, yeah.
Exactly.
お前もミリの世話手伝えよ。
やってるけど、
あ？何をだよ。
一緒にゲームやったりとか。
Right.
うちに閉じこもってるだけなんだから、もう少しミリのこと協力し。
俺なりに頑張ってるよ。
ダメだなありゃ。
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Damn.
なんであいつがここに。
Okay.
あ、カズくんだ。こんなところで何してんの？
Ha!
いやー、寂しかったよ。
The timing.
Yeah.
大切な子でもできた。あー、やっぱり図星。
本当俺今日は予定が。
お幸せに。
Ain't no rest for the wicked.
幸せ。ね、洗濯回して、皿洗って、作って、風呂入れて、洗濯回して。
You've gotten properly responsible.
幸せってこんなだっけ？危ねえから絡んでくんで。出てくれ！はいはいはい、今行くよ。
Rakuzan.
これ嫌い。
Oh my god, they're both children.
You're setting a bad example. He's having a full existential crisis.
食べてトマトもあげる
そんなに言うなら
You don't get to eat them.
Right.
甘いものだったら食べれるよ
Nope.
ああ、なら俺も。
フレンチトースト食べてカジキパパフレンチトースト
俺はなお前たちの家政婦じゃね
Yeah!
家政婦って何
お手伝いさん。
I guess. Yeah. He doesn't even know.
Right.
They're both absolute children. Oh my gosh.
パパメリお腹すいた
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
カズキは。
どこにもいないの
Right.
Figure it out. How do I do that?
どれか。
Which is the food? Oh my god.
おいしいね今日保育園は
何持ってけばいいんだ。
Yep. Out.
All right.
朝早くから家でこうでもしねえとレイもミリの面倒見ねえしさミリで俺の偉大さってのがよくわかんだろ
And Ray does too.
二人してゲームばっか飯も好き嫌いしやがって
Yeah.
楽しそうだな
Yeah. Yeah, you've got a lively house, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
お前なんだよ急にまた妹さんが返しに来たぞ
Oh.
Okay.
That's
Mm-hmm.
who she
All right.
is.
Yep.
ゆずこちゃんの身内はカリンちゃんだけなんで
Yep.
もう5年だ
There we go.
命日も近いんじゃないかいい加減お前
Well.
さてと派手に羽伸ばすとするかなごそさん
Huh.
Oh boy.
Huh.
変わんねえよ何にも
Hmm.
何して遊ぼっかな
Where indeed?
あれ
It's a holiday.
It's a Sunday or something.
Right,
so
right.
Doesn't even do it.
Yep.
さあ絶好調
Well, there you go. I thought gambling was like illegal in Japan. That's why they have all the gacha machines. So maybe like it's an underground like
Oh God.
oh my god.
好きなもん頼んでじゃんじゃん持ってきて
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Uh-huh.
メリお腹すい
ピザでも取るか。
Well, there go all their funds.
1枚 M サイズ。トマトとピーマン抜きで。
たもちゃんと食べなきゃってカズキパパが言ってたよ
フライドポテト追加で。
Yeah, potatoes are vegetables, you know. You get a
right.
side of vegetables and it's totally fine, yeah. Ah, this is how we used to be though.
Mm-hmm.
早く帰らないとママに怒られるよ
ごめんごめん
Oh. That's a way to share an umbrella.
Yeah.
何が家族でって
Oh, careful.
せーな気ぃつ
Bro.
んだてめ
Well,
Okay.
カズキパパ帰ってこないね
ミリー、俺たちはな、
yeah.
捨てられたんだ。
Went out for cigarettes.
それがいるとか聞いてねえしまあこれくらい惨めな
See, you don't know. That's why you don't pick fights.
立派なことを言うやつに限って家族を不幸にするんだよ。
Well, fun. Fun.
大丈夫
No. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
大丈夫カズキやっと見つけた
That's why she was looking down that alley. Like, which of the
Yeah.
businesses was he in, you know?
Right.
ボロボロになってゴミまみれでバカみたい
Baka mitai indeed.
Dame dame.
宿り木のマスターから聞いてるでしょちゃんと話を
悪いまた今度な
逃げるなカツキいい加減にしてよないで一方的にお金を
Wow.
どんな仕事してる
Oh,
か知ら
okay.
ないけど大金渡されたって受け取らないし必要ないから
じゃあもうやめるわそれじゃあ
お姉ちゃんが死んだのはカツキのせいじゃないでしょ
俺が殺したんだよ
Well,
Okay.
we're gonna need some context on that. Well, here we go. Time to,
Oh shit.
did he like...
Yes!
All right.
Oh, it's that. It's that kind of complicated. Because he didn't, but he indirectly set
kinda did.
the sequence of
Yeah.
events up that... Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. She's got a bit of a fever now.
yeah.
悪いのか和樹
Bro.
38度5分
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Definite fever.
なんで出ない薬
Careful about giving meds to kids, though. Yep. Uh-huh. Yep.
Right.
Good. I'm glad
Okay.
they brought that up immediately. I was
Yeah.
immediately like, don't just
Yeah.
don't just casually give something intense to a kid, you know?
ミリ病院
That's yeah,
Okay.
sure.
病院ってどこ
Wow.
Because he's just been totally shut up inside there. Yeah.
大丈夫
Man. So imagine the guilt he feels about just doing this kind of job in general, and then
Oh,
the
sure.
idea that
Yeah.
his actions end up leading a girl to be, you know, parentless, you know? Oh, it's the only person he knows who's like,
All right.
okay. Oh,
Favorite spot of theirs? It's where they met.
大丈夫ですか
oh.
姉ちゃんここ好きだったよね和樹とお姉ちゃんが初めて出会った場所だっけ
It's a beautiful spot.
お姉ちゃんがすごく好きだった和樹と結婚するって聞いた時
Wow.
私すっごく嬉しかった和樹の中にいるお姉ちゃんがいつまでも
Yeah, it pisses me off. Yeah.
やだな
Yeah.
もう5年だよいいじゃない
俺はさ
Yeah, he's stuck in the memory of that moment and
変わっちまうのがさ
the shock she had on her
そうさせた罪を
face.
忘れて別の何かで満ち足りてあいつが思い出の中から
Oh.
消えちまうんじゃないかってそれが怖くて変わりたくないんだ
But you have changed, man. Miri is literally giving you a second chance.
Well, but
思い出は
his work hasn't changed.
Yeah, but that's
私ね留学するんだフランスで服飾の勉強するの昔からお姉ちゃんは応援してくれてたけどねやっと報告してきた
oh yeah.
和樹も前に進もうその方が絶対お姉ちゃんも幸せだよ
幸せか
Yeah.
妹の私が保証してあげるやっと雨が止んだ
Uh huh.
あ
親戚の子を預かってるって
Yeah.
あなん
Nice.
で知ってんの
Cute. Yeah.
キューちゃんかまったくあのおしゃべり目が
He cares about you.
成り行きで預かってるだけだ
いいじゃん楽しい
手ばっかかかるし言うこと全然聞かねえしよ
その子のこともきっと幸せにできるよ
You think?
ああ日差 私も出てきた。
もうちょい頑張ってみるか。
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Yeah. Can't avoid her.
ただいま。
But that doesn't mean you have to throw snacks at her either, you know.
まあ予想通りだけどもよ。
Aww. He doesn't know what he's doing, but, you know, he's got the heart, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't realize the consequences of your running away from things.
Right.
Because I totally get where you're coming from, Kazuki, but, like...
これフレンチトースト。
They made it!
Nice.
It's edible.
お前らに今度。
Yeah, 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 alright!
Right.
Yeah! Yeah, yeah, yeah!
そうだミリー。
Ah, the umbrella, yes.
Nice.
Bring the ED in, too,
Yep.
with it. Yeah, even on a rainy day, you can have the best of time and cheer with it. Yes. Okay. All right.
Cool.
That was wonderful. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that felt like a very mature episode. Like, like it was also wholesome, but like...
The thing that seemed like it would be a big point of drama was not...
It wasn't dragged out.
It wasn't dragged out, and it wasn't dramatic, if that makes sense.
Well, right, because
right?
it wasn't really resolved. In a fun way, it's more that we just now have the context for the drama.
Exactly.
Because he still has to live. He has to move forward, you
Right.
know?
They didn't actually bring drama. They were just a forcing function for him to deal with the drama that was already there.
Yeah. Okay. This was not at all what I expected it was going to be, and I'm very glad. This was a very fun, quick episode to get at some very heavy stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like how it was handled. I like the way that it resolved quickly, because it'd be very easy for something like this where you have a baggage basically that a character has been carrying for a really long time, for it to feel weird if it gets resolved in the one episode. But that's not what's actually happening here. This is just the punctuation, the capitulation on something that has been happening, and it gets brought up in the moment, right? Because all the time he's been taking care of Miri and everything, he's been dealing with that. We just didn't exactly know what it was.
Right.
And so now, in the moment where he's at the end of his rope, right? He's at his wit's end. He's like, I can't keep doing this. This is too much. You know, this stuff that maybe he was doing as a form of penance or whatever, right? Then,
Maybe.
you know, he ends up basically being in that state that, oh, hey, it happens to coincide with the anniversary of, you know, her death. But then also that's when the sister shows up and they have this conversation, and that's what ends up making him able to acknowledge and accept within himself that, yes, I am able to change, right? The past is the past.
Right.
You know?
And what's cool about this is I think that's extrapolating. I think that we don't actually see him fully resolve in any like direct way with regards to this stuff. We just see him being willing to move forward here.
Right.
And what's fun about that is that that's real life. You don't just suddenly decide, oh, I'm going to just magically forget about all this stuff here. I'm going to get rid of all my shame and deal with all that.
Yep.
No. You got to practice it out.
Exactly.
You got to go through the process, and you got to embrace the process.
It is a process.
So his process right now is not running away, not avoiding.
Right.
And one of the things that was really fun about this was that we kind of had it implied, basically, with the money, that he was doing an indirect form of remediation, but it was not actually what was needed.
Right.
He needed to face this himself directly, and the money was kind of the classic dad sending in child support kind of thing because they left, you know.
Yeah.
And so in his thing with this here, he can't leave his child because this child needs him. Now, while him and Ray need to have a conversation with regards to duties around the house and stuff.
Absolutely.
That's its own thing. But Miri is blameless in this situation here.
Right.
She can obviously be trained to do, you know, things better with a better attitude and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But no, this is a you and Ray thing, which means in a lot of ways, the responsibility is on you to have that conversation with Ray.
Yeah.
Because at the very least, if Ray's not going to be helpful, you can then throw in the, well, then you're no longer going to be my roommate kind of situation here because you're not doing your part.
And that's where him getting to the point where he did leave and then Ray had to deal with everything. That is, there is something helpful that comes from that.
Yes.
It's not just a, oh, here's this outburst or whatever, right?
Right. And because we're in a situation where we're modeling a familial unit with these three oddballs that are all not related to each other in any way, blood and stuff.
Right.
Having them struggle and try to figure out their family dynamic is fun. That's literally what we're being sold for this show, is that, hey, the assassins and hitmen are going to try to figure out their family dynamic with, their Mark's kid. Fun.
Yeah.
But having then the drama spill out from that to have Kazuki do the, I'm going to go back to my old ways. I'm going to go and, go to a hostess club and I'm going to do some illegal gambling. I'm going to go and have a crazy bender, basically, of binging on all his vices, which is how we found him kind of in the beginning of the show.
Yep.
He was losing himself in the vices to effectively, I'm extrapolating a little bit here, but it's kind of implied, to avoid
the painful thing
that
he wasn't dealing with. Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's I think that technically it's an implication, but I think that's very straightforward. Of that's what the show is basically presenting to us. It is to address that issue, right?
Yeah.
And so once he's not able to basically medicate in the more healthy way of I'm taking care of Miri and all that stuff. This is my second chance. Then that's all he has to fall back on, basically.
Right.
And so it makes total sense that he would need the not even pep talk, more like reality check from the system.
Reality check is a good way to describe it. Yeah, because from his perspective, he's looking at this scene in his head, replayed over and over again, to the point that it warped the memory of her. And I really like this because one of the things that is kind of a root, well, let's use umbrella as a term.
Okay.
Under the umbrella of shame is basically this this element of trying to avoid the pain. So you basically fall back then on pride and being like, I can handle this. And the way I can handle this is by, flagellating yourself and throwing yourself into shame and saying, I'm doing a good thing here by punishing myself for this. And the circular logic that your brain and your fear and your, everything basically goes through in order to make you convince yourself that this is good is that you don't actually speak any of it out. You keep it all internal so that you don't end up catching yourself in the, wait a minute, this doesn't actually fit, doesn't actually make sense.
The worst things propagate, and the good things that could theoretically come out of that, you don't end up getting because you're not actually processing it. You're just sort of sitting in it.
And that's what makes shame so fucked up, is that you actually are really close to processing it because you're focused on the thing.
Right.
But because you're focused on the way that it relates to you and your thing with it, you get so stuck up in your thing because of pride and stuff that you actually drive other people away from helping you process the problem.
Well, and I would even say that shame is is a response when you know the answer, right? But you're just not accepting it. The shame and the pride and all of that stuff. The pride is him basically saying, "It's my fault.
Yeah,
I could have known. I should have known." Right? Because there's some truth to that.
Oh, of course.
With the line of work that you're in,
other people are going to get hurt.
right? This is actually the most benign, just bad luck coincidence of the universe kind of a thing, rather than all of the things that would be more reasonable to expect. Right? So.
Right, if you had a family and kids and stuff, and someone eventually came for them later.
Right. Exactly.
Because they found out that you did the job or something,
So, this is one of those things where it's hey, no, Kazuki, you actually are fairly blameless in this of freak accident kind of a thing.
Yeah, this was a very freak accident.
You couldn't actually have known, and yet he's not able to accept that because,
Right.
it's not entirely that, right?
It is not entirely that,
the
yeah.
shame is the him rejecting that, and so I need to then punish myself,
Right.
right? But he's already at the conclusion, right? The shame is the response of the, no, I could have done something. So he already knows the question of the answer of, hey, you couldn't have known XYZ, right?
Well, right. It's the thing of where he is taking the answer and basically saying, no, I know that's part of it, but it's not actually going to help me here.
Right.
So I'm going to do the things that I think will help me, but if I actually thought about it, I'd realize it's not going to help me. It's just a way of punishing myself, and that's where shame basically lies. Shame lies always in the dark. It does not like when you actually talk about it and process the stuff out, because you then realize, wait, no, there is actually a way to move forward from this.
Well, and that's why he had to avoid the sister, because
She would naturally bring up the conversation.
all it would take is one conversation
Yep.
in order to point out what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's where again the thing that I brought up of like it being, resolved to an extent, asterisks, all that stuff. In this episode really works because the whole point has been him avoiding it, right? Like the thing that I would have thought that she would represent before I knew the full context of the situation is that she would be the one that would bring in the how could you, how dare you, or whatever,
Sure.
right? But nah, he's been doing that himself. And so here we go. That's the
fun twist with
that's
this
the fun
one.
twist. And so great. I want to see Karin potentially in the future. Granted,
She probably won't now.
She probably won't because
she literally said, "Hey, I'm
Yeah.
leaving the country.
Right,
you
right,
probably won't
exactly.
ever see me again."
yes, which
So-
also then is the reason for why. Oh, hey, it's been 5 years, right? She theoretically could have forced the conversation earlier, potentially, right? But no, now is where it's like the no. For my own, well-being, I need to make sure that I say this and basically do my job to potentially set the record straight for you because,
Right.
that I'm doing it for my sister.
Here's the part where I actually like. Again, I don't blame her in any way for waiting 5 years.
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah. No.
she hasn't been waiting 5 years.
Right.
She's been he's been avoiding her for a long period of time, which means her not picking up the money doesn't mean that she's not ever tried to make contact. It means that this is the only contact he's let her have.
Right.
And she went to this coffee shop because this is basically she knows this is where he frequents. And that means that at the very least, he's given no phone number. He's given no email address. He's given no other means of contact, showing that he's put up a very strong, very large wall to the point where she wandered the streets of the areas that he would usually frequent, which shows not just that she's tried this before, but that she knew where to look in general.
Yeah.
You don't just wander a gigantic city looking for somebody unless you think there's a chance that you could find them. Even if you're desperate because you're moving across the world or what have you, you wouldn't do that because the chances are zero, basically, that you would find them. So that means she's done this before. She's encountered him probably before and did not get any headway with him because he avoided her.
Right.
I love that all of that is theoretically implied by just the way that they used her character this episode. They meaning the story was her character this episode. So very mature stuff, very heavy topics, and also just a really fun flaw for a protagonist who had such a tragic backstory thing just revealed here, in that his soon-to-be lover, wife, died with their unborn child, and it was some iota of his actions that caused this to happen. Yeah, that's devastating. And that the karma of the universe, you could say, is what caused this because he's been murdering people.
Oh, right.
Sure, you could go that route. Or you could say that same karma then brought Miri into his life as a, hey, you were supposed to be a dad.
Sure.
You would make an amazing dad. And in fact, the circumstances seem so absurd at this point, if you think about it. The fact that Miri's in their lives here.
Oh, yeah.
That it almost does seem karmic in a,
Well,
hey, we're going to correct the balance here in that, yes, it was horrible what happened to her and your unborn child. But you know what? Here's a child just plopped right into your life.
oh, yeah, yeah.
What
Christmas
is going on?
miracle, right?
This is some Tokyo Godfather shit. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like it gets me just right in my heart because it's so beautiful and it's so it's just so hopeful
Yeah.
that you can have a life like his where you're a murderer. Like you
absolutely.
kill people. Yeah, sure, maybe some of them are really bad people or what
Yeah,
have
yeah,
you.
yeah.
You sleep at night just fine for whatever reason.
I have standards.
Yeah, I
you know?
have standards. I do
yeah.
jobs that are. Yeah, of course. You know, no
Right.
women and kids or some bullshit like
These
that.
people definitely didn't have families, and if they did
Yeah,
have
yeah.
families, they were all mustache twirlingly evil as well. You know.
Right,
Yeah.
totally. But
Yeah.
now she's here, and you can't run away from that because yes, Ray fucking sucks at taking care of a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
You kind of also have been taking care of him for all this time too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you have to do the hard thing now, which is you have to call them up to a higher standard.
Yep.
Both of them, more Ray than Miri, of course, but
Sure.
but both of them,
Yeah.
and be a dad here, because you could be great dads together if you worked at this.
Yeah.
And I like that that's the lesson, is that it's not that he did some evil thing by running away here.
Yeah.
He did an irresponsible thing, sure.
Yeah, but it's
the
the irresponsible thing after a string of being hyper responsible. You know.
right.
Yeah.
So, balance, but
Right.
hey, this could
Yeah.
be a good happy thing, dude.
Right.
A really good happy thing.
And also the acknowledgement of, oh, everyone has their vices, right? It's easy to get on Ray's case, right?
Yeah.
When you're doing everything flawlessly, but then it's like oh, wait, no, hang on. Everything kind of went to shit because, I wasn't here and Miri got sick and all of that stuff. And,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Right.
No, Ray's not the only one with some issues, right? And that's why
yeah.
that's why it's a dual setup, right? So that you can cover for each other,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
lean on each other, communicate, confront. Because
Yeah.
people in relationships that care about each other confront.
Right.
I'm just going to throw this out here. This show is actually dropping some major wisdom on the whole with regards to how to raise a kid. One, don't give, cold medicine to, kids under the age of 6.
Right.
Or 12 or what
There's
have
a
you.
reason there's different versions of it that are for kids and then also for infants and yeah.
Smaller doses and everything, notwithstanding. But then also, if you're going to do this whole parental thing, it's going to take work.
Right.
And if you're not willing to communicate, confront, and have actual conversations about that,
Then you can't really expect things to be different.
you can't expect things to be different. Yep.
Yeah.
Communication. It's the number 1, number 2, and the number 3 thing that is the most important thing in all of relationships. I'm not joking. You need this. So I'm just glad that the show is making that very apparent, pun intended.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. Good
All
stuff.
right, great stuff.
And that was the person who took the shot was the person that we've been setting up as the other hired killer. Okay. I'm curious if that if Kazuki knows that.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
and-
whether it's he knows, he doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Because that could be interesting. I'd be curious to see if there's like a reason why it's like, no, him and Ray specifically work together, and they don't really work with anyone else.
Sure, possibly. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.